Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Economics with Saad Kareem. Today we are revising demand and supply concepts. The meaning of demand. Demand refers to both the willingness and the ability of customers to pay a given price to buy a good or service. This is sometimes referred to as effective demand. So, this is sometimes referred to as effective demand to distinguish genuine demand from a want or desire to buy something. The amount of a good or service demanded at each price level is called the quantity demanded. And always remember there is an inverse relationship between the quantity demanded and the price. In general, the quantity demanded falls as price rises, whilst the quantity demanded rises at lower prices. Therefore, there is an inverse relationship between the price of a good or service and the demand. This rule is known as the law of demand. There are two various reasons for this relationship. As the price of a good or service falls, the customer's real income rises. That is, with the same amount of income, the customer is able to buy more products at lower prices. As the price of a good or service falls, more customers are able to pay, so they are more likely to buy the products. The demand curve. If you can see here, there is, just like I told you, there is a downward relationship of the demand curve. On the y-axis, we are having always the price, whether it's a supply curve or the demand curve or the cost curve for the break even. It's the price and cost always remain on the y-axis and the quantity on the x-axis. So we can see that from P1 to P2 when the prices are going to get down. So as a result of that, the quantity is going to increase from Q1 to Q2. The market demand curve refers to the sum of all individual demand for a product. It is found by adding up all individual demand at each price level. For instance, suppose that a cinema charges a $10 for its movie tickets and the demand from male customers total 500 per week, while 400 female purchase tickets so that at that price per week. The market demand for the cinema at $10 ticket is 900 tickets per week. Now, what are the determinants of demand? Means when we look at the law of the demand that increase the price, decrease the quantity demanded, and decrease the price, increase the quantity demanded, other things remains equal. So here we are what we are doing it हम price को यहाँ पे constant करें, price को क्या करें हम constant करें, and we are changing the other factors so that we can look into how it's going to affect the quantity demanded. Determinants of demand. Although price is regarded as the key determinant of the level of demand for a good or service, it is not the only factor that affects the quantity demanded. The other factors that affect a person's level of demand for goods and services are listed below. Habits, fashion and taste. Charges and habits, fashion and taste can affect the demand for all types of goods and services. Products that become fashionable, such as smartphone, enjoy an increase in demand, whereas that become unfashionable, such as last season clothes, experience a fall in the level of demand. Luxury fashion brands from France are highly popular amongst women in China. Income. Higher level of income means that customers are able and willing to buy more goods and services. For example, the average person in America has a higher level of demand for goods and services than the average person in Vietnam or Turkey. Substitutes and complements. Substitutes are goods or services that can be used instead of each other, such as Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and tea or coffee. If the price of a product falls, then it is likely the demand for the substitute will also fall. Complements are products that are jointly demanded, such as tennis balls and tennis rackets, or cinema movies and popcorns. If the price of the product increases, the demand for its complement is likely to fall. Other factor could be advertising, and advertising really plays a vital role. Marketing messages are used to inform, remind, and persuade customers to buy firm's products. Companies such as Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Apple, and Samsung spend hundreds of millions of dollars each year on their advertised budget to increase the demand for their products. And we know about it that advertising play a crucial role in increasing the demand of any product. Government policies, rules, and regulations such as the imposition of taxes on tobacco and alcohol will affect the demand. For certain products, sales taxes cause prices to increase, thereby reducing the level of demand. By contrast, government subsidies for educational establishments and energy efficient car makers encourage more demand for education and environmentally friendly car due to the relatively lower prices. Economy, the state of the economy, whether it is an economic boom or a recession, also has a huge impact on the spending patterns of the population. The global financial crisis of 2008 caused the demand for most goods and services around to decline, and that was in 2008. But we can also see that due to the lockdown uh, and COVID reason, we have a recession in the economy, a slowdown in the economy, so that makes demand to fall. The size and the demographics, such as age, gender, ethnicity, or religious beliefs of the population, can also have an effect on the level of demand for goods and services. For example, men and females can have different buying habits, and this is true. So this is called a movement in the graph. Movement could be up and down, but when we keep the price constant and change other factors, so we have the shifting of the graph curve on the right hand and on the left hand side. A movement along with the demand curve is caused by price changes only. A change in all other non-price factors that affect demand, such as income level, will cause a shift in demand. An increase in demand rather than increase in the quantity demanded is represented by a rightward shift of the demand curve from D1 to D2. So here is an example of the BMW. Now, meaning of supply. Supply is the ability and willingness of firms to provide goods and services at a given price level. Firms will have more incentive to supply their products at higher prices. The higher the price, the greater supply tends to be. There are two reasons for the relationship. Existing firms can earn higher profits if they supply more. New firms are able to join the market in the if the higher price allows them to cover their production costs. So if we are going to look into when the price increase from P1 to P2, the quantity increase from Q1 to Q2 because more firms enter into the market. They see rising prices and more profits. So this is one of the reason due to more firms supply is going to increase from Q1 to Q2. Similarly, just like we have the market demand curve, we have the market supply curve as well. And always remember there is a direct relationship between the price and quantity supplied, and this one of the reason that we have a direct relationship in the upward curve, because the more the price is going to be, the more quantity. So this one of the reason there is always a upward shift, whereas demand curve is the downward shift or downward declining curve. So the market supply curve is the sum of all supply at each price level. If you are going to look into Airbus, Boeing, and total supply, 300 is the Airbus supply, 320 is the Boeing supply, and the price is 300,000. So the total supply is 620. So this is what we call, this is the market supply curve. Now, what are the determinants of supply if we are going to keep the price constant, and we would like to see how the supply curve is going to shift on the right and on the left hand side. We see although price is regarded as the key determinants of the level of supply of a good or service, it is not the only factor that affects the quantity supplied. Non-price factors that affect the level of supply of a product include the following: cost of production. If the price of raw materials and the cost of other factors of production fall, then the supply curve will shift to the right, assuming all other things remains unchanged. There is an increase in supply at each price level as the cost of production fall and vice versa. Taxes imposed on the supplier of a product add to the cost of production. Therefore, the imposition of taxes on a product reduces in supply, shifting the supply curve to the left. And when we say subsidies are a form of financial assistance from the government to help encourage output by reducing the cost of production, subsidies are usually given to reduce the cost of supplying goods and services that are beneficial to society as a whole, such as education, training, and healthcare. Technological progress, advances such as automation, computers, and wireless internet mean that there can be a greater levels of output at every price level. Hence, technological progress will tend to shift the supply curve to the right. Price and profitability of other products. Price acts as a signal to producers to move their resources to the provision of goods and services with greater level of profits. For example, if the market price of corn falls while the price of rape seed increases, the farmers are likely to reduce their supply of corn and raise the supply of the rapeseed. Time. The shorter the time in question, the less time supplier have to increase their output. So the lower the supply tends to be over time, output can be increased. For example, it is not possible for a farmer to increase the supply of agricultural products in a short time period. Whether the supply of certain goods and services can also depend on the weather. Agricultural output will clearly depend on whether suppliers have favorable or unfavorable weather conditions. Similarly, some service providers may also limit or close their operations during adverse weather conditions, thereby shifting the supply graph to the left. If you can see, we have a shift of the supply graph from S1 to S2 on the right when the quantity of supply is going to increase due to the factors we have discussed above. And same case when the cost of the production is going to increase, the supply and the profit margins of the businesses are going to reduce. So the curve shift from S1 to S3. Market equilibrium. An important concept, the equilibrium price, also known as the market clearance price, is determined where the demand for a product is equal to the supply of the product. This means that there is neither excess in quantity demanded nor excess quantity supplied at the equilibrium prices. And this is one of the reason that we are going to look into here. Okay, so this is what we have, the equilibrium price, and this is the most equilibrium quantity. Changes in non-price factors that affect demand or supply will tend to cause a change in the equilibrium price and therefore quantity traded. For example, in figure down below, a government sales tax imposed on tobacco will shift the supply curve for cigarette to the left. This raises the market clearing price from P1 to P2 and reduces the equilibrium quantity trade from Q1 to Q2. So this will be the new equilibrium where the price and quantity is going to be coincided. In contrast, favorable weather conditions will shift the supply of agricultural output outwards the right. This is what happening in the Pakistan because we are an agrarian economy. The increase in supply reduces the equilibrium price of agriculture output from P1 to P2, but increases the quantity traded from Q1 to Q2. Now, this is an important concept. If the price set too high above the market clearing price, then supply will exceed demanded. As shown in the figure down there, this results in surplus production known as excess supply. In order for firms to get rid of their excess supply, shown by the distance between Q S and QD, if you can look here, okay, so Q S and QD. So this is with the green color. They will need to reduce price from P1 to P2. This is a key reason why leftover stocks of Christmas cards are reduced in price after 25th December and why unsold summer clothes go on sale during the autumn. By contrast, if the selling price of a product is too low, that is below the equilibrium level or the below the equilibrium price, the demand will exceed the supply. This creates a shortage in the market caused by the excess demand at a price of P1. The demand is Q4 while supply is QS. If you are going to look into with the green, so there is excess demand. When Apple launched its iPhone 5 in Hong Kong in late 2012, demand outstripped supply, so that the price of a smartphone increased from 588 to 8,000, an increase of 43% in Hong Kong. Now let's look at the key terms here. Complements are products that are demanded for their use together with other products. For example, tea and milk or the cinema and popcorn are jointly demanded. Demand refers to the willingness and the ability of customers to pay a given price to buy a good or service. The higher the price of a product, the lower its demand tends to be. Equilibrium occurs when the quantity demanded for a product is equal to the quantity supply of the product, that there are no shortages or surpluses. Excess demand occurs when the demand for a product exceeds the supply of the product at a certain price level. This happens when the price is set below the equilibrium price, resulting in shortages. Excess supply occurs when the supply of a product exceeds the demand at a certain price level. This results in a surplus because the price is too high, that is above the market equilibrium price. Substitutes are products that are in competitive demand as they can be used in place of each other. For example, tea and coffee or McDonald's and Burger King's meals are substitute products. Supply is the willingness and the ability of firm to provide a good or service at given prices. The higher the price of a product, the higher its supplies tend to be. The next topic we are revising is that is price elasticity of demand. The law of demand says that as the price of a product increases, the quantity demanded of that product will tend to fall. However, the responsiveness of change in the quantity demanded may vary depending on the customer's degree of ability and willingness to pay. For example, a rise in the price of a product with plenty of substitutes such as bananas, greeting cards, or chocolate bars will have a larger impact on its level of demand than the rise in the price of a product that has fewer substitutes such as petrol, toothpaste, or haircuts. PED measures the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded for a product following a change in its price. If a price change causes a relatively small change in the quantity demanded, then demand is said to be price inelastic. That is, buyers are not highly responsive to changes in price. For example, if the price of rice increases slightly, it is unlikely seriously to affect the demand for rice in countries like China, Vietnam, and Thailand. By contrast, demand is said to be price elastic if there is a relatively large in the quantity demanded of a product following a change in its price. That is, buyers are very responsive to changes in price. For example, a small rise in the price of Pepsi Coca. Pepsi is likely to reduce its demand quite drastically as customers switch to buying rival brands such as Coca Cola. So, always remember that all the necessities are going to be price inelastic, whereas all the luxuries are going to be price elastic. So, businesses have to be really careful in increasing the price of luxury goods because customers do shift to the competitors' products. The use of price elasticity of demand. Knowledge of PED can give firms valuable information about how demand for their products is likely to change if prices are adjusted, helping firms to decide on their pricing strategy. For example, a business with price inelastic demand for its product is likely to increase its price, knowing that quantity demanded will be hardly affected. Therefore, the firm will benefit from higher revenue from selling its products at a higher price. Predicting the impact on firms following changes in the exchange rate, for instance, firms that rely on exports will generally benefit from lower exchange rates as the price of exports become cheaper and thus will become more price competitive. This assumes that the PD exports is elastic, of course. Price discrimination. This occurs when firms charge different customers different prices for essentially the same product because of difference in their PD. For example, theme parks charge adults different prices from children, and they also offer discounts for families and annual pass holders. Deciding how much of a sales tax can be passed on to customers. For example, products such as alcohol, tobacco, and petrol are price inelastic in demand, so government taxes on these products can quite easily passed on to customers without much impact on the quantity demanded. Helping governments to determine taxation policies. For example, the government can impose heavy taxes on demerit goods such as petrol and cigarettes, knowing that the demand for these products is price inelastic, while demerit goods are harmful to society as a whole. The high level of taxes on such products does not significantly affect the level of demand, with minimal impact on sales revenue and jobs. But the governments can collect large sum of tax revenue. So this is it for today. Take care of yourself, inshallah. We are going to resume in our next class. Allah Hafiz.